So grab your TI 83 or 84 and follow along with me here as I show you how to find mins and maxes and zeros on a graph. Well, first of all, we need to graph something. So I've put an equation in to my y equals screen, and I'm ready to graph it. I hit graph, and it looks like that. Now, this is my graph. That is a parabola, and its minimum is the spot at the very bottom of the graph. Now, if the graph looked like this, it would have a maximum at the very top of the graph. But mine has a minimum. So to find exactly where that point is on the graph, we are going to use something called calc. And the calc button is a button on the calculator that is right above the trace key. And so I'm going to hit the buttons here, and I'll kind of hold them so you can see where I'm pressing. Right there gives me my calc. It's right above the trace. So use second and then the trace button. Get you calculate. My choices are value, zero, minimum, maximum, intersect. There's a lot of things you can calculate here. Now I'm just mainly focusing on the ones that my students use a lot, and that would be zeros or minimums or maximums. To find the zero, oh sorry, let's go to the, in my case, the minimum. To find the minimum, I need number 3, so I can just hit a 3 right now. Or I could arrow down and then hit enter, but I'm going to hit a 3. So now I'm calculating the minimum. Now it says, the first thing the calculator asks me for is the left bound. Now let's make sure you understand what they're talking about here. On any graph, they're going to ask us to go to the left of the thing we're looking for, any spot to the left of it. So that could be anywhere in this green area here to the left of it. And then it's going to ask for the right bound, and that's going to be anything on this side of it, any spot on that side of it. And then it'll be able to tell between those two spots you pick where is the minimum or the lowest place on the graph. All right, so the left bound, I have to use my arrow keys, my left and right keys, and I'm going to arrow, arrow, arrow to the left until anywhere, as long as I'm to the left of it, I'm good. All right, that's definitely to the left side of my minimum spot, or the lowest spot in the graph. And then once I'm there, I hit enter. Now I arrow over to the right side of it, just get anywhere to the right side of it, and then I hit enter again. And now it doesn't tell me yet what the minimum is. It says guess. And so at that point it's saying, okay, I'm ready, you've given me the left bound, you've given me the right bound, and now if you hit enter one more time, I'll actually tell you where the minimum is. I hit enter, and see how the little blinking spot is at the lowest part on the graph? And it says it's at negative 1.999999 and negative 8. And I bet you'd know that that's really negative 2 instead of negative 1.99999. This is a rough, not a rough, this is a very close estimate of where that spot is. And if you just use your skills in reasoning, you'd say that, oh, well, 1.9 repeating pretty much means 2. So that's negative 2 and negative 8. Now, could you have known that just by looking at the graph? Yes. Or sorry, looking at the equation? Yes. But some graphs are much more complicated, and you can't tell just by looking at the equation what the minimum or maximum is going to be. So by using this tool on the calculator, we can find out exactly where the minimum or maximum is. Zeros are the spots where it touches the x-axis. So the zeros are this spot right there, and over here, I better do it in a different color so you can see it. Let's use green over here. That spot right there, the spot where it touches, those are the zeros. Okay, to find the zeros, it's the same idea. If I want to do the zeros on my graph that's on the screen right now, I do second calc again, and I tell it I want to do the zeros this time. That's number 2. So I hit zeros. Now it says left bound. Again, I got to go to the left side of the 0 that I want. Well, I'm going to go over here and do this one on the left here. That's about where the 0 is, right about there, but I know I'm not supposed to be right on it. I'm supposed to be to the left of it. So I hit the left arrow a couple times, and now I'm definitely to the left of my 0. I hit enter. Now right bound. So now I go just to the right of it and hit enter. And now I hit enter one more time, and it'll tell me what the 0 is. It tells me that the 0 is at x equals negative, this one right here is at negative 4.8 about, comma, And then it says negative 1.1 e to the negative 12. Again, it's a rough estimate, but if you actually write that out, it's 0.0000000, a whole bunch of zeros, and eventually a 1, 1. And that means pretty much, wouldn't that round to 0? And yes. And what is this thing we're looking for? It's a 0. So of course it's supposed to be 0. So don't let the calculator fool you when it ends up not saying exactly 0. It's rounding. Or you should round and get the value that makes sense. So this is at about negative 4.8 comma 0. I'll just do one more, give you that idea of how to do this. I'm going to do the 0 that's on the right. And so I'm going to ask it to calculate again. So I go second, calc, and I'm looking for the 0, which is 2 there. And then I go just to the left of my 0 and then hit enter. And then I go just to the right of my 0 and I hit enter. And then it says guess, and I hit enter one more time. And now it brought me to the spot where it touches the x-axis. That's the 0. And this one's at about 0.8 comma 0. This time, notice it actually says y is 0. Last time it said it was almost 0, but again, you should just round. So it's about 0.8 comma 0. 0.8 comma 0 is my other 0, or my x-intercept on this graph. So that's how you use that calc to figure out minimums, maximums, zeros. And you may have also even noticed on there's more stuff you can figure out. You can figure out places where two lines intersect. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. All right, have a great day.